Don't you ever come back to this house again, Lexi. You are a failure to all of us.
Mom, please! Open the dang door!
Who the hell would let you back in here? A daughter like you who would go and fail that bar exam is no daughter of mine. Now you hurry up and disappear off to somewhere we'll never have to see you at all.
I'll try even harder next time, Mom. Please, don't do this to me.
Listen, Lexi, your father was able to pass his bar exam in one take, and that turned him into one of the most famous lawyers in the state. Your grandfather was the same way. He only had to take the bar exam once, and that led him to becoming the most powerful man in this family.
And for that, I think of both Dad and Grandpa as amazing people.
And since you were not able to pass the exam on your first try, you are an embarrassment to this family and can no longer be allowed to stay a part of it. We have no use for you anymore. We're going to have to start thinking of what to do with Maya now come here test.
Maya and I promised one another that we'd study together for this exam, Mom.
Not happening. Because you've already gone and failed the bar exam now and are useless. If we start to allow her to study alongside a failure like you, then she herself will become the same kind of waste that you've shown us. Both her father and I have high expectations for her now, and we'll make sure she meets them. There is no need for you in the family anymore.
You really have no idea how hurtful it is to me when you say that about your own daughter. I put a lot of effort into studying for the exam, and I did my best when it came time to take it.
No point in trying to bring up what's in the past now. Your results prove to be nothing, and therefore, you mean nothing. Nobody cares if you tried your best, when in the end you still failed. That goes for lawyers especially, right? They are expected to be there to either defend someone convicted of something, or help someone fight those that did them wrong. Nobody wants a lawyer who only cares about trying their best when they continuously lose their cases. Many people rely on lawyers to protect their livelihood, so you cannot be a failure.
And I completely understand that, Mom.
Well, if you understand that, then hurry up and get off our porch. A failure as big as yourself would cause issues for this family by remaining in the same town even. So how about you go far away from here?
Then, where am I supposed to go, Mom?
You think I care about any of that? Because of your failures, you're not even family to me anymore. Understood?
Are you seriously going to cut ties to me and everything because I failed one exam? You are taking things too far.
I'm the one who gets to decide if I'm taking things too far or not. And because you've gone and failed the bar exam on your first try, you have brought some shame to this family of lawyers. Honestly, I'd rather have you locked up in the basement for the rest of time. But I'm going to play nice and refrain from doing something like that.
All right, Mom.
Now, get lost, you complete failure.
Lexi, are you all right? Just a bit ago, it looked like you got into quite the argument with Mom.
Maya, things ended up with me deciding that it really is time for me to move out of the house.
What? What do you mean you're going to be moving out of the house? Like, forever?
Yes. Because of the recent bar exam I took and failed. To be honest, for a little while now, I've kind of been thinking of moving out of the house and living on my own while studying. Every time I'm in the house, things are always against me, as though Mom doesn't actually want me to ever become a lawyer. So I've been thinking of getting a pretty cheap apartment a little ways down the road from their house.
I see. So that's what you're going to do now so that you can focus more on passing that exam. All because how things have been here with Mom, right?
Yeah. She has always been on me about everything regarding school and my studies, and it's driven me up the wall long enough. Especially after failing this last exam.
Lexi, tell me the truth, please. Mom kicked you out of the house, right?
What?
I already know what's happened. This family has always been about the story of how Dad and Grandpa were able to pass their bar exams on their first try. They seem to all think that if you can't pass in the first try, you're not meant to be a lawyer and are a lost cause. I've heard all about this from them. But I just assumed they were joking about a lot of that stuff. Guess not, though.
So, you've known about this? Well, I wish you would have told me sooner that you were aware of the way everyone sees the bar exam. I've actually been planning to take the test 3 times or so before I can pass it.
But Mom has always been telling you to pass it on your first try, right?
She had been saying that to me, but like you, I never thought she was that serious about calling me a lost cause if I failed. And, well, now I'm being kicked out of the house and the family. Seriously, though, I don't think I had it in me to pass that exam on my first try anyway, so this was bound to happen. But the thing that I don't get is why Mom has so much pride in this family being a lawyer family when Dad was barely even a lawyer. He may have become one, but he quit his job soon after and has just been sitting around the house ever since.
Well, they have all of Grandpa's money right now. I've been lucky enough to get some of his money as well, though, so I'm not going to say anything. I can't.
By the way, what are you going to do from here on out, Maya? Are you going to continue to live there with them and study for your exam?
Well, that's the only thing I can do now, right? I was only ever given the option of becoming a lawyer. There's nothing really left for me to aim for now, is there?
Well, I suppose that's true. This is going to be my first time living on my own here, so I was kind of thinking if you wanted to escape them, you could come live with me.
That would never work out. I hate being around Mom and Dad a lot, and would love to leave them and move out to your place. But right now, I really need to focus on the bar exam myself. So I'm going to have to stay here for now and study as much as I can.
That's the only option you have now, huh? Well, keep it up then, and don't worry about me. Good luck. I'll be cheering you on from over at my new apartment.
But you're going to be giving the other exam another shot, right? Like you were saying?
Well, about that. I've already come this far and studied more than I'd like to say for it. There's no way I could live with myself if I just gave up on it now. And luckily, I'm now out of that house and can focus a bit more.
Then let's both you and I work on passing this exam. And let's make sure to stay in touch with one another during this long and tiring process.
Sounds good. And maybe someday, when we're both working as lawyers, we can look back on that awful family and laugh while having some glasses of champagne.
What the heck? Why would we have to do something as stupid as that?
What are you doing at a place like this, Lexi? Today is the day of Maya's wedding, and as far as everyone here is aware, this family has cut ties to you and are nothing to us. So why are you here right now?
Well, there so happens to be plenty of reasons for why I'm here right now.
What kind of reasons are those? I think you just crawled in here undetected and are trying to feel like you're one of us again. Come on now, woman. We have already been embarrassed by you once before, and yet you want to do that some more to us by showing your face around here? And guess what Maya did to make herself a far better daughter than you ever were? She passed that bar exam on her first try and has become a very successful lawyer. If we leave a loser like you around this wedding, it will all fall apart and will have been for nothing.
I know that for both you and Dad, seeing me here is a huge problem, and neither of you want me around anymore. But there was no other choice this time. A lot has happened in the past couple of years now.
I get it. You snuck into this place thinking you could gorge yourself on all the free food here before sneaking back out, right?
Excuse me?
I know that after failing the exam that first time, you never even bothered to try it again, did you? And now are living the life of a complete loser who is nothing to the society. And guess what? That's totally natural for a sore loser and failure like yourself. I'm sure that right now you are in the middle of living life as a moneyless lowlife, right?
You're being a real jerk, Mom. I just came here to celebrate the wedding and then head back home.
Nobody here wants you to celebrate this wedding, though. You're going to make everyone here uncomfortable, as well as yourself. Especially you, actually, since every person here is a lawyer, which you failed to become.
Oh, That's what I thought.
Also, the groom's family just so happens to be the very famous Winston family. The ones who are known throughout the U.S. as being very high-class lawyers. 2 of them are a part of the Supreme Court even. In other words, that family has been around longer than even our own family, and is known by far more people.
And that's very amazing.
It sure is. Especially the groom's older brother, wife. She is the same age as you are, but she happened to become a very famous lawyer, and is part of the Supreme Court now.
Oh. Well, that's very cool of her. Such a prominent figure she must be.
Oh, she is a very prominent figure, and I have yet to meet with her. But today is a day I'll have my chance, and get to finally consider myself a part of her family as well. Another thing that's pretty funny is that she shares the same first name as you. Lexi. You both share the same age and name, yet you couldn't be any further below her in this society.
I'm sure that's true. Now, could you stop talking about her like that? You're making her sound far better than she really considers herself to be, I'm sure.
You think so? I'm starting to think that you really did end up having your brain rot on you these past few years. I know that she's far better than all of us, and you should understand that yourself.
Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this wedding now, so could you please leave me be for the rest of the day? Both of us can work towards not talking to one another if you'd really like. I think that's the best option.
That will not work. Just having you around this wedding is a problem and needs to be taken care of right now. It is the most embarrassing thing having had a daughter like you, coming from a family full of lawyers, famous ones at that, failing her first attempt at the bar exam. It's a terrible shame that I will not relive. You were already disowned from our family, so why are you here now, of all places?
That's because I'm here as part of the groom's guests.
What? What are you talking about? What did you say?
I am here as a guest of the groom because I was invited. I was invited by Wyatt himself, and that is why I chose to come here today, as I was expected to be here.
Huh? Why would Wyatt ever invite a lowlife such as yourself to be a part of his guest? His whole family is more famous than ours, and is known all across the U.S. for being some of the best lawyers. What reason would they have for wanting a failure like yourself to come to this wedding?
There should already be some pretty obvious hints for those reasons you were asking about. You should be aware by now who I am. Just think about it.
Huh? I should be aware of who you are. The only thing I know you is a low-life failure.
You can stop it with the jokes already. Try giving me some guesses about who you think I am. There have already been plenty of hints so far during this conversation. Just put a little bit of thought into it.
I do not have to put any thought into it, because there is only one possible answer. You are a trespasser who snuck into this wedding so that you could grab a bite to eat before sneaking back out onto the streets again.
If you still have no idea, then I guess it's useless. Later on, I am sure there will be a lot of things you'll want to talk to me about, so I'll see you then. Goodbye.
What? You hold it right there. Lexi, why are you sitting at the table with the rest of the groom's family? Could it be true that you were actually invited here today by the groom?
I've been saying that the whole time. I was handed a physical invitation from him before and was expected to be here.
Then who are you to them?
Just use your brain and think for 1 second about that. Or am I really going to have to tell you? Ugh. I am Wyatt's older brother's wife. Bernard's wife.
What? Wyatt's older brother? Bernard's wife? That means... Wait, does that mean you're Lexi?
That's me. I am that woman who became a very well-known lawyer who is now working in the Supreme Court. I am Lexi Winston. Nice to meet you.
No, there's no way that's the case. Because you failed your bar exam and are now a complete and utter failure.
Didn't you know you can take that exam a second time and pass it, like I did? Then I became a lawyer and ended up where I am now. I had to put in huge amounts of effort to get here and prove how competent I was through many cases.
There's no way that can be true. You are freaking lying to me right now.
If you think that's all a lie, then why am I over here at the groom's family's table sitting in one of the ends? And why has everyone been coming to talk to me and smiling as they do so? Is that not enough evidence for you to understand that I am not lying?
I can see all of that. But how? How did you become a lawyer that famous, and yet neither Maya nor myself were able to hear about it? That's way too strange to me.
Well, that's only because for the past few years, I've done my best not to talk with you at all, as that's what you wanted from me. And during all those family gatherings, I was never invited, so I didn't get to talk with anyone. I also explained my situation to Bernard, and he understands why things are this way between myself and you all.
Is that right? I just thought I would have found out sooner if you became a lawyer.
Well, you did, but you didn't know it was me because you were told how amazing I am. And all those times you met with Maya's husband and were told about how I was never around, it's because I've always been so busy out in D.C. But to be honest, I still get some time off every once in a while. I'm still only really at the start of my career.
And what about Maya? I'm sure there's something wrong with the fact that her husband's older brother's wife is her older sister, right?
Maya already knew that I was his wife. She knew that I was going to become his wife before we even got married. But she only found out by coincidence. This whole situation is kind of coincidental, to be honest. When we both found out we were partners with two brothers, we were shocked, but also laughing about it.
Then why did Maya never tell the rest of her family about this and hid it from her own parents?
Well, if you'd like to know about all the finer details of this, the best thing for you to do is go and talk with her. I'm not sure what all I can tell you about that, since it's pretty sensitive stuff. Also, I have a speech coming up here soon that I have to give, so I've run out of time.
What? A speech? You're giving a speech?
I was asked to give a speech today, so I thought I might as well. So this speech is going to be about all the feelings I have towards the mother of the newlywed bride.
The mother of the newlywed bride? You're talking about me? A speech about the feelings you have towards me? Feelings of gratitude, I hope.
There will be some things about my gratitude towards you. After all, I am thankful for what you've done. That's why I'm going to take this chance that I've been given and let everyone know just how I feel about you.
What is all of this about?
Now I have to get ready. Please put all your attention on me when I get up there.
Lexi? What the hell was that speech for? Didn't you say that part of the speech would be about how thankful you feel towards me?
That's right. That's why I went ahead and went over everything. And I said that those words you said to me on the night you kicked me out of the house for good stuck with me forever. You said to me that nobody would want a lawyer who never wins, and so I made sure to win. It's all about the end result, and there will never be a lawyer that people want who has only tried hard but never actually succeeded. I used all of those things you said to me that night to push myself harder, so that the next time I took the bar exam, I'd pass it with 100%.
Wait, all of that was fine with me. I'm upset about all the things you said after that.
What? Oh, you're talking about the part where I mentioned you calling me a failure and a loser before cutting ties to me and then kicking me out of the house in the freezing cold of winter? Oh, and also about the part where you said to me that if a failure like myself were to stick around, I'd begin to turn Maya into a failure as well? That's what you're upset about, Mom?
That's right. By saying it all like that, you made it look like I'm some kind of messed up mother. And the part where you put all those screenshots of the conversation we had on the projector.
Well, you are a messed up mother mentally, and so I had to show everyone that I was not lying. By the way, where did you go, Mom?
I left the building and I'm out in the garden right now. I was being glared at by everyone in there and I couldn't stand it anymore. Why would you do this to me? Everyone is going to lose their trust in me now.
But all I did was speak the truth, as any lawyer should do. And to think this was only half the speech I originally wanted to give. There was still another part about Dad, but after talking about you, everyone seemed to have gotten the point. Now that's it from me.
Wait, Lexi! Maya! What the hell is this all about? Did you really know about Lexi all along?
I sure did. She's my older sister after all. I was the one that asked her to give that speech as well.
Does that mean you knew about all the things she'd be saying in her speech too?
I did. I even helped her make it. And both Wyatt and Bernard approved of it after giving it a good reading over.
Why? You could have at least told me from the moment you knew that your sister Lexi was the same Lexi as Lexi Winston.
You think I'd really do that for you? Did you forget about the whole thing where you kicked her out of the house and told her she was no longer a part of the family?
That all had nothing to do with me, Maya. And in the end, you passed the bar exam on your first try. And this whole time, your father and I have done everything in our power to treat you with the respect you deserve now.
This is why I hate you all. Back then, I never had the confidence to leave all of you, and I had an exam to focus on. You guys were the only ones I could really rely on at that time, especially after you forced Lexi to get on her own place.
And you turned out to be such a special and successful woman because you stayed with us. Why do you still care about her when she is nothing to us anymore?
That's because, unlike the rest of you, she's very close family to me and is important. I know that for you and Dad, that feeling of love for her vanished the moment she failed her first exam, but I still loved her.
We stopped loving her because she was an embarrassment to our family. How the hell could she fail that first attempt at her bar exam when her whole family's name was riding on it? I was in the right kicking her out of the family, as that's what I wanted, your father wanted, and what your grandpa would have wanted.
But as you can see now, Lexi is a very successful lawyer, living up to the name her husband's family bears. There's no reason for any of us to forgive what you and Dad did to her back then. My in-laws are all saying that about you too now, and so is Wyatt, and so is Bernard.
What? What do you mean by that?
Starting today, I'm cutting ties to you, Mom. And the same goes for Dad as well. I don't want either of you ever coming around me or this family again.
What? Hold on a minute, Maya. If you do that, then we will be...
That's right. You will never be able to talk with the Winston family ever again. And that's because nobody in this family forgives you both for what you've done. You can understand that now, right? I think it's time that both you and Dad get out of this place as quickly as possible now.
Wait a second. Please, Maya. Do you have any idea how much effort your father and I have put into you to get where you are now?
I like to think that it was me who got me here. Both you and Dad never really worked at all after Grandpa passed away because you both received all his money. And at one point, you both started to ask me for money when I got a job. And when it comes to Dad, that lawyer you always loved to boast about, he quit his job the moment his dad's money landed in his accounts. And ever since then, he hasn't done anything with himself. What kind of family of lawyers have you been going on about this whole time, Mom?
I get it. I get it already. We won't ask you for any more money, okay? So please.
I don't think you do get it, Mom. It's over now. I'm done talking to you, and I never want anything to do with you ever again.
Wait! Hey, Lexi. Do something about this. Do something to get your little sister to listen to me again. For some reason, she seems really upset right now.
Why do I have to step in and help her listen to you? She might be upset with you guys right now, but I am furious, all right?
You have to help us here, or else your father and I won't be able to carry on much longer.
How pathetic, then. You both just live off your child now, even though you had so much pride in being a family of well-known lawyers. I'm so happy we cut ties years ago, Mom. Now how about you both get some jobs instead of being lazy pricks?
Lexi, what's going on with you? You're not still going to talk about you and I not being family, right?
What's that all about? Wasn't it made crystal clear years ago that I was disowned by you and Dad?
I'm aware of that, but we're letting you back into the family now. Your father and I, we have a lot of debt right now. If you abandon the both of us, we'll be screwed completely.
Funny. You must be pretty embarrassed now, right? Be careful, because if you keep talking and acting like that, you might cause embarrassment for the whole family. If you both have debt, do what literally every human being does and work to pay it off. And by the way, does this mean that all the money Grandpa left behind is gone now?
That money is all along gone now. What are you right about now, Lexi? I want you to come to you and talk to you in person about all of this.
Oh? You don't have to bother with that.
Hey! Hold on a second. I didn't mean to do that. You weren't listening to anything I was saying, so I just...
Kicking a lawyer of any kind like that is now going to be a very major thorn in your back. And as I fell to the ground there, I hit my head. There's blood all over the place, and my head feels like it's a balloon that's about to pop. So...
Wait, hold on. I wasn't the one who hit you in the head, though.
Huh?
Actually, I didn't kick you down or anything like you're saying. I just happened to run into you a little bit with the side of my legs was all. A gentle push was all that resulted from it. And then you being all dramatic threw yourself to the ground, causing you to hit your own head like an idiot.
All you had to do was apologize, and I would have been fine letting you go after what you did. The sad thing is, you and Dad are both already in heaps of debt, right? Let's both hope that Dad at least has a plan for what things will be like when you're gone, and he's alone to handle that debt.
What are you talking about right now? Stop trying to make things look any worse than you already have.
Then have a look at this. It might make you think twice about lying to everyone.
Did what? What is that? When did you take that?
Just in case something was going to happen, I turned on my phone's camera and put it on record. Just in case, you know? And then, guess what? Take a look, Mom. From what you just saw in that video, I was being kicked to the ground by you, right?
What? No!
I hope you have yourself a really good lawyer for when we go to court, because you're going to be fighting one who works in the Supreme Court quite often.
I'm so sorry. That wasn't on purpose. I'm asking you to please just forgive me.
No room for forgiveness anymore. You're going to court.
Why?
Because my head hurts a lot now, and I'm going to need to see a doctor about it now. And that's on top of the fact I'm needing to clean up all this blood right now that's come from the cut in my head.
But I didn't.
The police will be here soon.
The police? Why the police?
Because you just assaulted me, and that means the law has to handle things now.
No! Stop making a huge deal out of all of this. If anything, the reason for all of this is because of that stupid freaking speech you gave in front of everyone.
Mom, there's no point in talking about things in the past, is there? This world only cares about the results, right? Maya, I have a lot to thank you for. And I'm sorry. This was supposed to be your wedding today, and yet after that speech, things all ended up being about me.
What are you talking about, Lexi? This is what the both of us wanted to happen. Minus your head getting banged up. But at least now everyone knows that both Mom and Dad are complete monsters. Everything went well in that regard, so we need to celebrate all of that.
I'm so happy that it wasn't just me that hated those two.
After you were kicked out of the house and I went and passed the bar exam, those two only became worse. For a little while, they even began to call me their tree with money growing on it.
That's screwed up.
That's why ever since then, I had been dreaming about my wedding, where I'd get back at those two and end their cruel reign once and for all. Actually, to the point I want to thank you. You helped me out more than I could have ever deserved.
Come on, I caused a lot of trouble thereafter with Mom. But I'm happy to hear that you're happy with the end result. Now, how about tonight you and I go get some drinks? Remember what I said before? Get some champagne?
I remember, and I'd love to. But you should get that head checked out first. Once that's healed up, then we can buy the most expensive bottle the store has.
After that, I took my mom to court and sued her butt big time. She was brought there by the police because, of course, I was calling the police on her and having her taken into custody for assault. When she came, she tried to have her husband represent her, but considering he'd been out of the world of law for some time, he totally forgot there was no chance at all for them with the evidence I had. I was even showing x-rays of my head that showed the small skull fracture I sustained. And just to rub it in her face, I had the doctor who saw me that day show up. He explained to both the judge and my mom herself that the injury I sustained was pretty serious, and that I was also given a concussion from my head hitting the concrete floor. I never had to go to the ER or anything for it, but the doctor explained that I needed to get stitches for the cut that was left on my head, and would have to take a while off from work in order to recover and wait for the bone to heal. He was actually against me even showing up for this case, but considering I'm a lawyer and had all of the evidence needed, I knew the case wouldn't last too long and I could get back home soon. So in the end, she was charged with assault, and along with having to pay me for medical expenses at the local urgent care, she would be serving 2 years in jail. Considering her and Dad had used up all their money and were already in debt, they had to have the house sold and gave all the money they received to me. My mom is now in jail, and without her, my dad is alone on the streets with no one he can go to for help. I'm not even sure where he ran off to because there was nobody really even keeping an eye on him. So maybe he's just gone and ended himself or something. Both my mom and dad really have fallen far from the well-known lawyer family that they once loved to brag about. But it all serves them right, since they thought that they could just manipulate their kids all the time and throw them away when they did one thing that they did not enjoy. As for myself and Maya, we're both working hard in courts all over the place, making money and saving it all up. For her, she's working in most of the courts in her state, and for me, let's just say that I'm going anywhere I'm needed in the U.S. We've both agreed that from now on, we will work for 10 years, and then after that, we'll start to think about having kids. I know it's not the most practical of things, but we both are actually scared to death of having children. So what better way to do it than to go through that fear with one another? I've also come to love the fact that her and I both turned out to be successful lawyers from 2 complete monster parents. But it's kind of getting old since literally everyone is now a lawyer around us. My husband, her husband, their parents. The list just goes on and on. But one thing is for sure, and this goes for all of us. We are never going to think of ourselves as any more special than those that aren't lawyers. And we will most definitely not turn into a family like that of my moms and dads.
Hey, Mister just got hired in their 40s. You're supposed to be coming into work today, correct? Why are you not at the office right now? I just took a look at your cubicle, and you're not there, nor are you in the break room. It's 30 minutes past 8 a.m. now, and you should be sitting at your desk ready to get some work done.
Is this my department manager, Hugo? Good morning. How did you end up getting my number before ever meeting me?
I asked around the office and came across someone who had your number already. Now I'll be able to get in touch with you whenever I need to. So let's get to what's happening with you.
Right now I'm talking with the CEO in his office.
You're talking to the CEO? Now tell me, how does someone your age that only just joined this company end up talking to the top dog of this company?
Wait, I was asked to come to his office by him? The CEO and I are currently talking about what happened with Robert and the work he was doing here.
Robert? What do you think you're doing calling him Robert like that?
Ah, I'm sorry. I forgot that I'm in the office now. We happen to be talking about Mr. Ming's transition out of this company from the role of vice president. That's why I'm currently in the office with him.
I think you made a very big mistake calling out the ex-vice president by his first name like that in front of me. I'm sure right now you're just trying to make up an excuse for being late to work today. And you thought that by saying you're with the CEO right now, I wouldn't bat an eye? Am I on the mark there?
No, you're not on the mark, actually. I would never try something like that, even if I was late to work today.
You come to your desk right now and see me. You're marked down as coming into work late on your first day now. Because of that, I'm going to have to keep a tighter leash on you and teach you how to be a proper employee here. I hope you're ready for that.
I was not late to work today. If you still feel as though I'm lying to you, then you can ask the CEO himself, and he'll tell you the same thing I am right now.
No matter what excuses you have for me, late means that you're late. It's your first day here, so if anything, you should have shown up 1 hour before you were expected to be here.
Coming in an hour early wouldn't be reasonable. You do understand that in this company's rules, it says that employees are to be no more than 15 minutes early to work.
I don't want to hear another word out of the mouth of a man who ended up finding a job here in their 40s about this company's rules. Are we done here? I happen to run a very tight crew here as a manager, and I have a lot of achievements under my belt to support just how important I am, which means you are not to talk back to me anymore.
Understood, Hugo. I'll be over there right away. Just give me a minute to wrap things up here.
Just give you a minute. Are you trying to piss me off now? That is not how you talk to someone that is in a far more respected position than yourself.
I'm sorry about that. Then I'll be over there as soon as I can.
I want you here right now. I will not let one of my employees slack off on the first day. Hey, do you think this is the correct way to introduce yourself to this company? You sure have not become a productive and respectable member of society, have you? You were in your 40s, yet all this time you've been doing what with yourself?
I have been doing my best to make a good first impression to everyone within this company. Could you please tell me what I've done wrong to make you think otherwise?
Huh? You should be able to understand what you've done wrong if you just thought about it.
I understand what you're thinking, but so far, I feel that I've been doing a very good job and have not done a single thing wrong yet. If you're telling me my best right now is not enough for you, then we might have to discuss things in more detail.
Just because you're asking me what you've done wrong does not mean I have to tell you. You are not in school anymore, right? Seems you're still trying to act like life is always going to be like that of a college student's.
That's not at all how I'm trying to act. I never even went to college, actually.
Huh? You've never been to college before? So you don't have a degree in anything then? Jesus. What the hell has happened to this company hiring only the best of the best in terms of office workers? You were already looking bad enough coming into this company, a middle-aged man. But now you're telling me you never went anywhere after high school?
But my ability to work well and efficiently has nothing to do with my educational background, I feel. Instead of going to college, I chose a path that would better help me increase my abilities in the world and the workplace.
Everybody says things like that. Don't think you can get any appeal by saying something like that to me. I'm going to make you cry now for acting all high and mighty there. Jesus. I want to have a look at what your parents are both like.
My parents? Never mind. Forget I ever said anything. Sorry, Hugo, for this outcome.
All right. Since you seem to have never gained any experience at all in your life, we're going to have to start from square one in terms of teaching you. I want you in work 2 hours before you're supposed to start. Then, I'm going to have you start to clean this whole entire building for me.
What? You want me to come to the office 2 hours ahead of my shift?
What's wrong? You told me that in order to make up for never having an education, you want to work harder at becoming a more efficient member of society, correct? If that's the case, then I'm going to make you more efficient at cleaning this place from the floor to the ceiling. That way, you'll become a better employee to this company, right?
I see. Cleaning does happen to be a very important part of any company's image. It's something that everyone has to help with. And there always has to be someone taking care of that very important job.
You happen to understand things very well now. So make sure you're into work 2 hours early tomorrow. And for the time being, you're to be the last man out of this building. Understood?
The last man out?
Once everyone else that works here has gone home for the evening, then it'll be your turn to go home. You understand that? I understand you're new to this whole working thing, but don't tell me you thought you had the right to leave before everyone else does.
I see. Understood.
Also, every morning once everyone is into work, I want you to announce to all of them your appreciation for all the work they do and how much it helps you become a more useful person in this society.
What? Why do you want me doing something like that?
By doing that, you will begin to show everyone around you just how much you're growing in terms of knowledge and skill in the workplace. I'm sure you don't want to be chewed out in front of everyone all the time, right? When you make a mistake, I want you to announce it to everyone and then learn from your embarrassment.
Don't you think you're making me do a little too much there?
Making you do too much. But are you starting to feel as though you can tell your manager what to do now? There's no way a middle-aged high school graduate that only just got hired by this company can tell me what I'm doing right and wrong.
I see. Understood.
Now you better get everything done the way I want it. So, you want to keep pretending to just be an average employee to Hugo?
Yes, in order to learn more about what exactly he's up to there. And I'd like to do all of that without him thinking much of me. Of course, I'm going to be doing the job I'm in this company for, so don't worry about that.
I see. Understood. Then go right ahead and continue what you'd like to do.
By the way, sir, why have you let a man like him move so far up within the company?
It's not that I've just let him get into that position. Rather, he happens to be a very valuable asset to this company, and has done very well for the company so far.
What?
He has always put his best foot forward when working, and has never once made a mistake that has caught the attention of myself or the others above him. He has always done everything I've asked for from him, and all of those that work under him trust in his abilities. This is the first time I've ever heard anything like this about him. He's never seemed to be the kind of man that would talk to his fellow employees like that.
So, perhaps there's something going on with him that's made him behave abnormally?
Perhaps. There most likely is some reason to it, and we should find out what that is. However, there is one thing I remember about Hugo. When it came to Robert, he treated him the same way he's been treating you now. Just like you, Robert entered this company in his late 30s.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Ming ended up quitting from the company?
Yeah. He realized that he just couldn't come into the office anymore, and one day he handed in his 2 weeks. He explained all that I was expecting to hear about his leaving, but he never actually gave me a proper reason for never coming back in.
What happened there? We're really going to have to look into that then.
There was most likely a serious problem that arose between him and Hugo that led to that ending. However, from what Hugo said to me, he did nothing wrong to Robert.
Understood. I'll have to dig into that a little bit as well. Find out what really went on there.
Why are you wanting to try so hard to find out what's wrong? You only just entered this company today.
I have to make sure problems like there were before never have a chance of coming up again. And this happens to be a very special company. I think the CEO himself should be more driven to get rid of whatever could be the problem here.
Right. You have a good point. I'm sorry for not being more outgoing regarding what you plan to do.
No worries. Now, I have to get back to work here.
All right. Good luck with the second half of your day. And good luck with Hugo.
Wait, Hugo? What exactly are you trying to do here? Coming to an event such as this wearing that kind of attire?
I'm the one wanting to ask you the questions here. What the hell do you think you're doing taking a day off already to be at this wedding when you have only worked for 1 month in the company?
I was allowed to come by the CEO, and him and I had talked about this way before I even started working for the company.
You're trying to tell me that a basic employee like yourself went and asked for a day off work before even getting hired? All right then. Well, I came here to give you a little present. You should be thankful for that. After all, this is going to be your last chance that you'll ever get of meeting with me.
What?
Are you trying to play games with me by taking a day off work for a wedding when you just joined the company as a middle-aged man? As part of letting you know that you're fired, I came here today in this funeral attire with a present for you. A little money to help pay for your occasion here.
Hugo, you're being punitively discharged from the company.
What?
I had no intentions of telling you about this today, but you've pushed me past my patience. I cannot believe that a man such as yourself would come all the way to an employee's private event such as this and try to pick on them like you have.
What are you even going on about right now? What makes you think you have the right to tell me that I'm fired? I'm sure it hurts to hear that you're being fired, but you better calm your horses over there.
My horses are calm. I was able to keep them calm all that time while working in the office with you. But now that you've come all the way to this wedding to cause a disturbance, I'm not going to deal with you anymore. So today, I'm having you fired from the company. Do you understand that?
And I'm asking, what makes you think you have the freaking right to do that to me of all people? A middle-aged nobody that never went to college and only just started working a job?
I happen to be the company's executive vice president, Hugo.
Huh?
And in order to figure out why you've been such a problem to the company, I entered the company stating that I was just a simple employee to you. Because of that, I've learned all I needed to learn about you. About your true character.
Hey. What do you think you're doing making such an absurd lie? All you're going to get from that kind of lie is more embarrassment. Is that what you want?
If you think all of this is a lie right now, then please, go ask the CEO what he has to say.
All right then, that's what I'll do. Mr. Marcus, I have something I'd like to talk about regarding one of my employees from my department, Calvin. He started going on about how he's the executive vice president for the company now. I understand that currently the seat of vice president is open and awaiting someone to move into that position. But there is no way that man is the new vice president for the company, correct? It's probably best that he talked to you about all of this first. Well, he's right. Just as he's told you, Calvin is the current executive vice president of the company. He happens to be very well respected by previous companies he's worked for. It has many achievements in improving such. I'd say he's one of the most important assets to this company now. What? He happened to have something in mind that he wanted to do before being formally recognized as vice president. He said he wanted to enter your department as your average office worker. What? Could you hold on for just 1 minute? Are you being serious right now? Is that guy really the current vice president now? That's what I've been saying. And he entered your department in order to figure out what you're up to. Now listen here, Hugo. I've heard that you've come to this wedding today. This is a weekday, if I'm not mistaken. It is an hour and a half past 8 a.m. now. You were here and not in the office getting work done? What the hell is going on with that? What? No, wait. I'm on my break right now, and I thought it would be a great idea to come to the wedding and hand him this present for me. And I was planning to let you know about that the moment I got back into the office. Present? From what I was told, you came in funeral attire, claiming to want to hand Calvin money to pay for some of the expenses. I saw you myself as you walked into the wedding. What? So you're at this wedding right now? Well, of course I am. This is the wedding of my vice president, after all. And he was telling me that once his wedding was finished and he had some time on his hands, he'd come into the office for a bit. But I told him there was no need for that and that I'd come and see him here. Is that so? But as for myself, I have contributed a great amount to the company. You yourself must be aware of that, right, Mr. Marcus? You make a great point. You are one valuable man to the company. And for a long time, I had entrusted a lot to you. But I'm no longer able to overlook the things you've been up to while working for me. This is no longer about how well you've done in the company and all the achievements you have. What I've been up to? What are you talking about? What have I been up to at work? I haven't been causing any problems for the company whatsoever. You have come to one of your subordinates' weddings in funeral attire, bringing money to hand over to him as a gift that he can use to pay for what you're trying to make sound like a funeral. And from what I've heard, you took that money that was a gift for him and scattered it all over the ground in front of some of his family members. And you think you haven't caused any problems for the company? No, wait, that was, I'd assumed that Calvin wasn't taking his job seriously at the time. I happened to always think about the company before anything else, and what I thought he was doing angered me. But I know better now. That's not all, though. I'm sure you have some memory of what I'm going to talk about next. You made a massive mistake thinking you could keep that under wraps for so long. Wait, I don't remember much. The wedding is starting now, so I'm going. When you get back to the office, I want you to prepare yourself for the inevitable termination you face. Understood? No way. Hold on a second, Mr. Marcus. Calvin? I'm so very sorry for what happened yesterday. I was only thinking about the company at the time, and it made me very upset the way you handled things. Hence what happened yesterday.
And you should be apologizing for what you've done today. But that's not all. The number one issue you're facing here is the way you've been handling things in the office. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
What? All I've been doing is working my hardest to make sure work gets done right. I'm sure I can be very strict at times, but this is all for the company.
So, what you're saying is that having me stand in front of everyone today to tell them how thankful I am for everything they do, and then digging into me with hurtful comments is all for the company?
Wait. Those weren't meant to be hurtful comments. They were to help you with your job.
And what about having me come into work 2 hours early to clean the whole office building, and then having me stay until the last person had left the office? Tell me how any of that was for the sake of the company.
Because, as a new employee to the company, you should be forced to do things like that.
And was staying at work with me all the way past the time the buses stopped going around so that I wouldn't be able to get home besides on foot for the sake of the company as well? I'll have you know that to me, all of that looked like a perfect example of workplace harassment.
Well, that was...
That was what, Hugo?
Um...
And in order to make sure nobody would find what you were doing wrong, you made sure to treat everyone around the office for never reporting you? Hugo, for some odd reason, it appears to me that you have a deep hatred of me. Could this have anything to do with when Robert quit his position as the vice president of the company last month?
Robert. He left the company out of his own will, and there was no other reason for it. And honestly, I don't even remember that much about him besides that.
Is that right? But the reason you had ever became a manager in the first place for that department is because you stole his idea and used it in a presentation, right?
What?
I have looked into all of that already. I also happen to know that you only ever mistreated Robert in the office, while being kind and happy with all the rest of the department. This was, of course, before he was promoted to vice president for that short period of time. You were very much aware of that as well, right? I would like you to explain all that to me.
You don't have any evidence of me ever stealing his idea from him for that presentation. Show me the proof right now. You need to cut it with these games you're trying to play right now. You think you can talk to me like that? All because you're the vice president of this company?
Then, allow me to send you the evidence. This happens to be the information and plans you stole from Robert and labeled as your own. From what I can see here, the name on all these documents is Robert's, yet everything else seems to be labeled as yours in the files. But, for some reason, these all seem to have been uploaded under his account details, as though he was planning on using all this information he had in the meeting.
This is all just a load of bullcrap. You went and messed with all these files and made them look as though they were his.
There are other employees who beg to differ. Those that had been talking with Robert when he was writing all these documents up, as well as who went to him specifically for input based on the information he was working on. Hugo, we have all the evidence we need. I understand that you have forced a lot of your subordinates to stay quiet about all of this, but you're not going to get by the one person who was put in your department to expose you. How about you start talking the truth with me?
At that point in time, I took some of the information he was working on. Before that planning meeting, I still didn't have any ideas for the company and was panicking, so that led to... But at the time, I didn't know any of those documents were his. I'm serious.
Hugo, how much further are you going to push this lie for? I don't have all day to tell you the truth about what happened during the events surrounding you. When I took a look at the printing information regarding all those documents, they were never once printed using any of the company printers.
What?
The only thing that happened to all those documents is that they went from being Word files to becoming PDF files. How did you ever just pick up the information and documents that were only ever on his work laptop?
No. But...
Ever since he had entered the company as a man in his late 30s, you had something against him. For the time that he was in the company, he had gathered quite a lot of interest from people like the CEO and other higher-ups. He may have joined the company in his 30s, and he never went to college, but he had the skills to get the job done even better than most others. And that's one of the reasons he was promoted to vice president for that short time. You never liked the fact that he was favored, did you? And that's why I believe you were treating him with the same way you are with me now, because both Robert and I came into this company the same way.
That guy, he was tricky. He never had a good education, yet he acted like he was the best. I was the one that made him into the man he was before he quit. He should have been thanking me for all the hard work I put into him.
So, with that reasoning in mind, you stole his information that he had made up, and then after being promoted for that, you picked on him even more, to the point that even after being put into a higher position than you, he couldn't stand your harassment?
Shut the hell up. What the hell do you know about what happened?
Do you have any idea how Robert is doing right now?
What?
Robert had to live with having that information of his stolen, his spotlight crushed, and then when he went to tell his manager at the time, the man just laughed at him and sent him out. From there on, many other employees started to call him a liar and were against the choice to make him a vice president. After being promoted and still finding no peace from you, he left the company, and since then has locked himself inside his own home.
What?
He had never went to college or anything like that, but because he wanted to improve his skills in the working world, and after he had done so well for himself and been hired by this company, he thought he had finally made it. But after putting in all he could for the company's sake, he was crushed by you over and over again, before being stabbed in the back by you and left looking like the idiot. Do you have any idea how horrible he must feel now? If you just had a little bit of heart in you, you'd be able to understand.
What? What is it with you? Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm Robert's best friend. The two of us were raised in the same foster home together. Since the both of us never grew up with any parents, we worked together to show this world we could do better.
You guys have that much history together? So then you came into this company in order to get revenge?
This is not revenge. I'm just here to make sure that all of the pests are exterminated. I've never had anything against you personally.
Hey, I never knew a thing about that. I never knew that both you and Robert had such history.
Because you didn't know anything, you expect to be forgiven for being a thief? That's right. I would like to ask you to pay a settlement to Robert, out of court. Also, with the information I've learned these past few weeks, I'd like to go around telling other major companies about what's happened here.
I screwed up, okay? I really screwed up. So please leave me alone. Please.
What are you talking about, Hugo? You must understand that in this world, apologizing won't always fix everything, right?
It seems you made good work of Hugo and got rid of him. Seeing that this company is now in a better place because of that, I'm sure you're waiting to hear my thanks, right? Well, let me say thank you. And I've made sure we'll never have to hear from him again.
Thank you, Marcus. And that's good to hear.
You have really helped the company a lot this time. You're able to rid this company of corruption.
So, what do you plan to do now as a way of showing your sorrow?
What?
You might have made Robert vice president for a little bit, but you were also the one that let him face all that harassment. Had you just listened to what was going on with him from the start, he would never had to end up where he is now.
But at the time, I couldn't trust him enough because he had only just joined the company. I was saying that a man with 10 years of experience and accomplishments in the company was harassing him.
But in the end, that man who had only just joined the company was being harassed, and had to pay the price for it. So how will you be taking responsibility for your negligence?
Okay. Okay. I will make it up to Robert by paying out a settlement to him as well. I know that what I'd done was wrong. I need to atone for that now.
Good. I want you to apologize to him with all your heart. Now that we have figured that out, I'm going to get back to being the vice president of the company, and making this the kind of company I want it to be. Which means, making this company have an environment that someone like Robert would want to come back to. After that, the now unemployed Hugo went ahead and left the entire city for good without even trying to come back to the company begging for his job back. What he had done while working for the company was exposed to all those in town, and even beyond the city limits, so there was no chance of him finding a similar job to the one he had here. There was even an article made in the newspaper about the event, and although they never disclosed his name in the article, most people knew who it was talking about due to the rumors that had already spread. He ended up going back to his parents' house because Robert, hearing about what had happened to Hugo, took the opportunity to take him to court and sue him for workplace harassment. There, Hugo was made to pay out a massive settlement to Robert, which is much more than I was asking for him to pay, but it's what Robert deserves in the end. Now that he's back at his parents' house, he has started working a part-time job in order to save up more money to help pay that settlement off. I wonder how the life he has now is treating him, when he had so much pride in being this important asset to the company where he had so many achievements. I'm sure it's just torture for him, but it's only expected to feel like torture for the amount of time he tortured Robert, and then after that, he should be warmed up to it. When it comes to Marcus, he went to Robert and apologized to him, while also handing him a check with an undisclosed amount on it as a settlement. Then, before leaving Robert's house, he asked him to please come back to his company whenever he was ready for it. A little while after that offer, Robert did end up coming back to the company, and he even went and took Hugo's position as that department's manager. Robert would also end up restructuring his department in a way that made it more open, in case incidents like what happened to himself were to happen again. This way, the proof would be right out in the open, and it would be very hard to deny the truth then. I'm so happy to see him back where he deserves to be, and I'll be staying in this company for as long as he's here, in order to protect him.
Emily? Next week, my parents will be coming to town. Can you make sure to get all things prepared around the house for them?
Will do. Do you have anything you want me to pick up from the store for them?
Huh? I'm not talking about food right now. They are coming here to start living with you and I from now on.
Huh? Wait. What, Terry? We only had our wedding and all that yesterday, so this is just the start of our life together.
I know that. But who is the one that owns this house? That would be me. So it's my right to choose who lives here and who doesn't. My mom's legs are getting really bad these days. So you'll be watching over her from now on.
I'm sorry, but I can't be living with both of your parents right now, Terry. They're both nice people, but there is something a little scary about it. I don't like the idea of living with your parents this early on in our marriage. Have you not felt off about them at all, by the way?
Are you trying to say there's something wrong with my parents? How freaking rude of you.
Are you even listening to me?
You are such a selfish and self-centered idiot. Don't you feel any bit of sympathy towards my mom, who's having a very hard time getting around, and my dad? It has already been decided that the two of them are going to be living here with us, so deal with it.
What is going on with you, Terry? Why are you acting all over the place about this? You just flipped out on me for no reason, then calling me names, and we only just got married. And besides, this house is too small for two couples to be living in it. What's going to happen when you and I have kids?
It's your job to think about a way to handle all of that. Don't you dare let me down. I'm tired of talking about this now, so listen to what I've said. While I'm out of the house on my business trip, you clean it all up and get it ready for them to move in.
Ugh. What is wrong with you, Terry? None of this is making any sense. At least I'm kind of getting an idea now of what kind of a person you really are deep down.
Hey, Emily. What have you been doing for the past 3 days?
What? I'm the one that has a few things to be asking you right now.
Dad sent a lot more of their stuff over to the house, so make sure there's a room open and ready for their things. But what is all this cardboard doing laying all around the floor? Do you have any dang idea how to keep my freaking house clean?
Listen, Terry, since when did I say I agreed with those two moving in with us in the first place? I'm sorry that your parents just sent that first group of boxes over without me being okay with it, so I did what I could to get them out of the way. Now, if you're going to keep it up forcing what you want to do on me, then you take responsibility for the rest of this and clean it all up.
Huh? It's common sense for the freaking wife to listen to her husband. Women are all below men, no matter who they are, and that means they must always listen to us. Are you retarded?
What the hell?
We already handed in the paperwork to the courthouse, so you are legally my wife. My thing to control. So you will do what I want, no matter what it is. But that doesn't only apply to me, but to my parents as well, so make sure you're doing everything we ask. That's what it means to be a wife, woman. Now, how was that? Are you all caught up on what you are to me now?
So in other words, the only reason you got married to me was because you've been looking for someone that'll be your slave?
That's absolutely right. Are you seriously shocked by something like this? That's the whole point of women. You were all born to become another one of man's toys. I hope you understand that clearly now.
Hello, Emily. Kate! I think the last time we talked with one another was at the company party, right? I think so. I heard that last week you had your wedding, right? Sorry for the late congratulations. Thank you, Kate. It was really only my husband and I there, so it all went over really quickly. He was saying that he wanted to have the cheapest wedding possible and one that could be done in 30 minutes, so that's what we went with. Is that so? I was a little sad hearing about the wedding and never getting an invitation from you. But it all makes a lot more sense now. Sorry about that. Did you hear about this from Terry then? I know he might have posted some things on his social media about it. That's where. He uploaded it during the most recent party, so I saw your wedding while I was there drinking. He was telling everyone how happy he was to finally be married. I see. Sorry that you got all down about things for a bit there, thinking you weren't invited. Don't worry about it. I have it all figured out now. I'm not just sorry about that, though. Oh? Well, that's fine too, Emily. Terry was always thinking about you, and he did say that he loves you. So I have no right getting all upset over that. I know you're not. Do you think the next time we have time, I can explain more about what happened to you? No need to. I don't want to hear about it anymore because I've already heard everything once. Oh, I see. You knew about my feelings for him, yet ended up getting married to him regardless. When I overheard things the first time about how you were going out with him and would get married, I was in shock. I'm sure overhearing all the details really hurt you then too, huh? Yes, it did. You knew how I felt, yet you went and started to date him, and then you went and married him. What happened to you, Emily? You and I had been friends forever, since high school all the way into the company. But you've changed a lot now, especially after what you did to me. Kate. I'm sorry, I really just wanted to text you to say congratulations on the wedding. I'm sorry for all of this. Good night. Yeah, good night, Kate. Sleep tight.
Hey, Emily. I'm going to be going over to my mom and dad's place to spend the night. Make sure to take care of all the boxes and everything here. And I want you to say yes, sir, every time I ask you something.
I can't believe there are more boxes and crap coming. You really think with all of this stuff, one single bedroom is going to be enough room for it all?
It'll be fine. How about that walk-in closet you have? Go ahead and start putting some of their things into there for me.
Wasn't that closet specifically made for me by you so that I could have all my clothes and such in there?
I don't care about all of your things, woman. I would rather much care about what my parents have to put in there now than what a stranger like you can possibly own.
I can't believe how much of a 180 you did.
What? Your fault for being such an idiot and not realizing the kind of dude I really am. You still love me though, right? Then you can put up with all this crap that you don't like from me.
Always acting like everything's about you and that nothing is wrong with any of the things you say.
What was that about me always being right? You know more than anyone that there used to be that girl at the front desk who loved me, and I was into her as well. I was just about to go for her and let her become my wife, but then you came into the picture and changed things around. It was crazy how fast things all changed in my heart. One minute I was thinking about tying the knot and everything with her, and the next I'm holding hands with you and handing you a ring.
Does this mean you're not satisfied with me? Then why did you end up coming after me instead of continuing to fall for her?
Compared to that girl up front, you made more money, and I like to have myself a bit of a fallback plan in case I don't want to work anymore.
Ugh. All right then, that's enough.
All right, perfect. You finally get it. Now, if you don't want to be kicked out of my castle for good, you continue to be a decent slave for me and get everything I ask taken care of.
Hey, don't worry about that. I'm already out of your so-called castle now. I'm done listening to all that putrid crap that keeps dripping from your mouth.
What?
What I'm saying is there was no need for you to threaten me with being kicked out because I left your house on my own.
Huh? The wife of all things left my house? Without even asking me? Hey. We only just got married, so you have some time yet before you're allowed to joke around like that. Now get back to reality here and start doing your job.
There's no getting back to reality for me there. How about you get real with me for a change and understand that I'm no longer living in that house? I'm sure when you come home tomorrow, you'll see for yourself.
Hey, what the hell is going on here? Why is all the furniture that was inside my house gone now? Explain this crap to me right now.
Why do I have to? That was all my furniture that I brought into your house when I moved into there, right? You should already be more than aware of that. I actually wanted to get new furniture back before the wedding, but you told me we could use all of mine and things would be fine. But hey, I left you that queen-size bed we ended up having to buy when we started living together, so you're welcome.
What the hell are you doing here, Emily? You get the hell back here right now. It's not too late for you to apologize for all this crap. I will gladly forgive you, as long as you make it up to me tonight in bed.
I don't need your forgiveness, Terry, so you can forget about that apology from me. And to be pretty freaking honest with you, we're not even husband and wife.
What? What did you mean by that?
I never actually went and handed in the marriage forms to the courthouse yet. You remember how you told me to take them in for you the day before the wedding because you were too lazy to leave the house? Well, I never actually went in and dropped them off.
What? Why not? You even told me that day you'd be going there to hand them in.
No way. I would never. If I legally tied the knot with you, then I'd have to end up divorcing you, and that would stain my reputation.
Huh?
Who the hell did you think would actually want to become another one of your things? Do I look like a toy to you or something? Well, I better not, because I'm no toy. What I am is a scheming woman who knew the right chance when she saw it and took it. I saw a chance to get close to a toxic, misogynistic man who thought he could just own any woman. So I took the chance to get back at him.
What the hell do you think you're saying to your husband right now? You really are the worst wife ever. An absolute mannerless bitch.
I was never your wife in the first place, Terry. You can doubt that all you want, but there's plenty of reasons for why I'm not anything more than a stranger to you now. It had only been about 3 months since you and I first met, right? And many people were wondering why you were trying so hard to get married to someone, anyone for that matter. Going around trying all these dating apps and the like while also asking out others in the office and from other companies?
And so what?
3 other women, Terry. There have been 3 other women in the past 3 months that you've cheated on me with. You've really been having your fun while saying you've loved me.
You have that all wrong.
I'm pretty sure this is all very right. I have audio recordings, video recordings, and pictures showing you going out with other women while you were with me. I see now why so many people were talking about you trying so hard lately. Thank God my inside person was able to capture all this evidence for me. Anyway, while you'd been out cheating on me and then thought you were getting married to me and then having a wedding, all before you turned around and tried to get me to take care of your parents, you were cheating on me?
It's your fault for never being good enough for me and not doing everything I said. If you want to start complaining about the things I did behind your back, then how about you come here and please me first?
Huh? No thank you, I won't do any of that. You have all your other women to help you with that, right? You are so frickin' gross, Terry, yet for some reason seem to think that the way you are is totally okay. I will say that the only thing binding you and I together right now is the engagement ring I still have, but I'll let you have that back. And the reason for you and I being done with this is your cheating and misogyny. I will be getting a settlement from you for the cheating, by the way, so please make sure to have that paid to me soon.
Stop playing around with me, woman. Hey, where the hell are you right now?
Well, let me tell you. Right now, I am at the unveiling of my very new house.
New house? We don't have a new house that was built.
This is not your house, Terry. It is my house.
What? And when did you get around to affording and building your own house like that?
Terry, do you remember telling me about how you were going to be paying the advance on your house and then have me pay the remainder of the loan off? Well, I'm sorry, but you and I weren't married yet legally, so I had no obligations to do that for you. I have my own house now, so I'm not going to help you pay for yours. How about you pay the loan off on your house yourself? Please and thank you.
You freaking bitch. I am not playing around anymore. You hear me? How the hell am I gonna go on and explain how all this happened to my parents?
I don't really know. And I don't care. And with all of that out of the way, bye-bye.
You're going to get it now, all right? Hey, where the actual hell are you right now?
Are you seriously still out looking for me right now? For not having any feelings of love for me, there must be some other kind of emotion you have now that's pushing you to find me. Must be anger, right?
All right, I'll go back home. There, now you can come to me, right? This is your last chance to be with me, okay?
You think I've been looking for a chance to go back to you?
Shut your mouth. Because of you, my whole plan has been put to ruin. I guess I won't need any of your money though, because I can always fall back on that cute girl at the front desk.
Oh, you think that'll work out for you?
I have to say, I am a lot more into you sexy looking women, but I guess a cute small chested girl will do this time. Her face is still a pretty face. I'll get her to marry me right away, because I can tell she's too dumb to understand who I really am. Honestly, I'm sure she still has feelings for me even, so as long as I play my cards right, she'll listen to everything I say. Hopefully, she's not too dumb though for a wife. I guess if she does have a problem listening to me, then I'll just have to teach her a lesson physically. That'll be a whole lot easier for me, and it'll help me get all this stress out.
Shut your dirty mouth before I put a bar of soap in it.
Huh? What do you care? Are you getting jealous about all of this?
You know that's not what this is about. Do you have any idea how much of a stain you are in this world's society? Deep down, you are a monster that preys on women trying to make them your slave, all so that you can be pleased and have some more money. The only thing I'd have to say you're actually good at is putting on a face to trick said women into following you. Seems everyone besides myself is so easily tricked by you and would happily fall into your trap, making things too late for them. And this time, you've started thinking about trying to prey on my friend.
I think you're going to regret what you've done this time. Now you've gone and set me loose on such an innocent and stupid young girl, and I'm going to make her all mine.
Shut the hell up, you bastard. That girl is one of my best friend's little sisters. When she's not around to protect her, I am, and will do everything in my power to make sure she's okay. And that means I will not let some rampant freak like you get anywhere close to her.
What? What are you talking about?
That girl is a bit of an airhead, but she also happens to be a little thick-headed as well. But the thing is, she's just like my friend and is a very kind kid. She is too good of a person to be wasted on a pile of crap like you.
Wait a second. Does this mean the reason you came up to me and pretty much took my eyes off her was to...
You figure that out? I took that chance to get you out of her way as a way of protecting her. And then I wanted to use all that time I was with you as a way to gauge just how much of a dick you really were, so that I could tell you later and tell everyone else.
How? How did you end up tricking me into falling for you?
I just had to not only show you fake love, but also do things to piss you off, so that you'd stick around with me, but also show me how terrible you are inside.
And then? And then you went and found out I was cheating on you? I see now. I see. So that's what all this is about. You went and did all that in order to protect your little friend's sister from my devious ways, and that's why this happened? Great work, Emily, but that was too much work for nothing. How funny.
How is all of that funny to you?
Because to us men, cheating is like an honor among us. Every time we go out and cheat on one woman for another, it's like getting a medal, and the more one man gets, the better they look. But I get it. There are those who are freaking losers and say that cheating is bad and all that. However, I'm going to tell you right now that all men are doing it, and we are all enjoying it a lot. All of my friends do it, and we love bragging about it to one another. We even take girls from one another and cheat. And do you want to know why we all do this, besides for the honor it gives us? We do it because it's so easy to fool you women. We can go through 2 to 3 girls a month and not give a single damn about them. And the great thing is, most women don't even care about us cheating either. They already know it's going to happen, so why bother?
Yeah, right. Are you that screwed in the head or something?
I'm sure you don't see things the way the rest of us do, right? But I wonder how that little girl of yours thinks about it. I'm sure she still wants me, right? If so, then all I have to do is ask her out, and bang, she'll give me a big okay.
You really are a friggin' disgrace to pretty much all men that have walked this earth. I've made sure to talk with everyone already.
Huh? Who is for everyone?
Didn't I tell you that today my new house was being opened to me? Well, there's a party going on here as my housewarming party. I made sure to invite all sorts of people to it so that we could all get together and enjoy my new place. For example, a lot of people from work are here.
What? Huh? Wait, I just got another message from someone else. What? What? Huh? You? What the hell is this? Huh? All of my coworkers and my manager? Ah. Why is my phone getting blown up by everyone right now?
Terry, if you don't know already, I'm a pretty outgoing person and happen to get along with pretty much everyone. And it seems to me like your manager loves to have parties for work and dinners as well. She's a pretty strong woman like myself and has had her fair share of misogynistic men in the office. So we've both gotten along pretty well.
Emily? Did you tell all of them about what we've been talking about?
Tell them? No, I never had to. They've all been watching it as it's gone on. I went and casted my phone to my TV, and we've all been sitting around watching this unfold.
What? What?
You really are the scum of this earth. Thank goodness I didn't invite Kate to come here today. But all the rest of the people here at my house are just like me, pissed off and horrified. Please don't think the office is a safe place for you to be anymore, Terry.
What the hell have you been doing to me? I'm going to make sure this whole situation becomes a mistake for you. I'm suing you.
This all isn't a mistake on my part, though, considering everything here is the truth about you. So how would you go about suing me? Give it a try if you really think you can find someone that will support you in court. But I'm sure by the time you do find some lawyer stupid enough to help you, the news about you will be all over town and all over the state even.
Damn it. You criminal.
Wow, seeing you starting to realize the position you're in is making me happy. But don't think this is the end for you.
Huh? What else is there to come? I'm already having to deal with this loan on the house now because you left. And I'm no longer going to be able to go to the office now because everyone hates me there. What more could you possibly have in store for me or steal from me? I'll make sure to divorce you. And I won't bother with that girl at the front desk.
You can't divorce someone you were never married to, Terry. Are you starting to lose your mind now or something?
Shut your mouth. You should already be happy with everything you've done to me, right? You can stop tearing me apart, right?
Oh, I'm not done yet. You still happen to have this massive secret you've been hiding from everyone, right?
What?
I can smell the scent of fear on you because you don't want that secret to come out. I'm going to tell you right now, no matter how hard you try to hide a secret as big as that, there will always be that scent of fear on you. I was shocked, though, about the fact that your parents and you were working together in a rather off-putting line of work.
What are you going on about?
They tried to get me to join the business as well, and it freaked me the hell out. What did they mean by doing that kind of work to make people happy? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You do realize that kind of thing is a crime, right?
Shut the hell up. Shut your mouth right now about all that.
You force those that need money to come work for you and take most of what they earn and then sell them to others for a high price.
We are just doing business.
No, because what you're all doing is against the law. You've been making people pay for women even, Terry. And I have the evidence to prove all of that.
Shut up. Shut the hell up already.
I can shut up if you'd like, but the police most likely won't. You do know that, right?
So this is what you were saving to tell me at the end.
That's right. Honestly, I thought that by keeping quiet about your secret until the very end, you'd come out with your hands raised and confess. Did you know that while living with you, it was so easy for me to gather the evidence needed? Because it was. That's why throughout everything, from us first dating to me saying yes to marriage and that wedding, I made sure to get a move on, and that's why things happened in only 3 months. But at the end there, when you were trying to get your parents to come live with us, the ones running that ring, I couldn't do it anymore. I had all I needed. The evidence of both you being a total pile of garbage and your parents both running that business, so I was done. And thank God I got out of there when I did, or else I might have had to sleep in the same home as your mom and dad.
I'm sorry. I never thought you were so smart that you'd be able to catch on to what was going on like that. I didn't mean to cause all of this either.
Are you trying to play dumb now? I'm calling the police.
Wait a second. Wait. Don't jump to conclusions here. Listen to my side of all of this. Things were bad for my family, and things had to be done in order to take care of them along with myself.
You really think you're going to fool me after I'd been living around you and seen your parents? All 3 of you loved your alcohol, gambling, and women. Even your mom was fine with playing lesbian for a bit.
Please forgive me. I never planned for things to end up like this.
You might not have planned for things to end up that way, but that does not make you innocent in all of it. How many people did you end up tricking into working for you? How many women? Hey, answer me right now. If you want me to forgive you for what you did, then answer the damn question.
Crap. I am so very sorry. I forced you into living like my slave and tried to take advantage of your friend's sister. I won't bother any of you guys ever again, okay? I'm sorry.
I see. Well, luckily we already know the numbers, so you don't have to tell me.
What?
There have been more people than just myself looking into what's been going on. So even if you can get me to forgive you, will you be able to do the same with them? I don't think so.
Wait a second. What are you talking about now?
A lot of the people you tricked, lied to, played have all started to come out about it.
No way. No. Wait a second, please. You can't let this happen. Help me.
Nobody is coming to help your ass, Terry. You're going to prison for a very long time, along with the both of your crappy parents. And there, the 3 of you can all think about the horrors you've put innocent people through. Have fun.
Well, wait. Please, Emily, wait.
It's over for you, and you already know it. The police should be arriving any minute now, so try your best not to cause them too much trouble. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from this now, Terry. Have you come to understand your position now? Emily? Kate, what's up? What's up? You know what's up here. I heard all about what went down. Are you freaking kidding me? I knew something was seriously off. Oh, I see. So someone told you about what happened today? You are an idiot. Why would you do all of that dangerous crap? What would you have done had he actually taken advantage of you? Ever since my sister died in that accident, I have never been more afraid of losing someone in my life. If you were to be taken away by his family, then... Kate, I see now. Maybe I took things a little too far when I was with him, and afterwards... But Kate, you and I, and your sister as well, we all played with one another a lot, and we have so many memories that we share. This was all scary for me as well. And even before I started to go out with Terry, I was afraid. Afraid that you'd go with him and never come back. I know. But what you did trying to protect me... I'm sorry for worrying you so much. I didn't think I'd find out later that his family and him were all running such a business, so I thought by just getting him away from you, things would be all right. But luckily, I was able to hold my own against him and got things to the point where I could expose him to everyone and make sure that he didn't harm another woman again. I know that it hurt you, what I did. But in the end, I was able to come out with so much evidence and so much power over him. So, really, you were trying to keep everyone safe? Yes, but you especially. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking things too far and trying to be a hero. Well, as long as you're all right, then I'm not worried about you anymore. Honestly, I'm happy you did what you did. But the next time you and I meet, we're going to have a very serious talk. I will thank you for a lot of things, but then I'm going to chew you out a little. All right, that sounds good to me. Thank you, Kate. Both Terry and his parents ended up getting arrested for running their, well, to put it in an easy-to-understand term, illegal men's club. They did all kinds of things there, like gambling and serving alcohol unlicensed, but worst of all, they were selling women. I won't get into much detail about it, but a huge part of their operation was like a pyramid scheme, where they'd hire girls to go out and try to sell things to people while also luring them to the men's club. Then those girls would usually be asked to find other girls to do the same thing with them and kind of run those girls, and so on and so forth. There were a lot of women that Terry took advantage of and ended up forcing into this group. And so there was a lot of testifying on the day of the court hearing. In the end, they were charged with loads and loads of crimes, ranging from things like running a soliciting business for women to physical assault. They would all three have to pay tons of money in settlements, as well as go to prison for years and years. I'm not sure what the exact amount of time was for each of them, but I'm sure Terry's parents will pass away before their time is up. I was also able to get a separate settlement from Terry after he had cheated on me while I was engaged to him. Of course, all of this made it to statewide news and then to national news, where everyone got to learn the kind of trash he and his parents are. Terry also lost his house due to him needing the money for all the settlements. And he's gone into even more debt because he still has other loans to pay off. I really have no idea how he's going to go about living life when he gets out of prison, but hopefully those banks he's indebted to freeze the interest, or else it's game over for him. When things come to myself, I have finally been able to settle down again, and am enjoying this new house of mine. And this time, I'm going to be spoiling Kate a whole lot more, as that's what she asked for from me as a way of gaining her forgiveness for hurting her a few times. I hope that her older sister is looking down on me right now from heaven with a big smile on her face for protecting her sister. I'm sure she is, and I hope she knows that I'll be continuing to take care of Kate forever and ever, as well as making sure she falls in love with a proper man, of course. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.